All right, well, let's see. How do we compare decimals? Which is greater, 2 and 21 hundredths or 2 and 12 hundredths? Well, if you just can't tell by listening to those two numbers or by looking, here's what we do. We are going to line one on top of the other, or called stacking them, based on the decimal. So right here where we have the decimal, we're going to make sure that we have it lined up based on the decimal. Okay, so my line's to the decimal. So now going to the left here, the far left number, which is greater? Is it 2 or 2? Well, they're the same, so that doesn't help. Now, there's the decimal that I just lined through. Now, which is greater, 2 or 1? Yeah, well, of course, 2 is greater than 1, so we now know that 2 and 21 hundredths is greater than 2 and 12 hundredths. Now, if we're going to order decimals, we're going to stack them again. That's the same kind of thing. So line up your decimals, just as I've done here. And you notice this bottom number here, although it's not completely right justified, meaning that that bottom number isn't lined up like you would normally do with numbers. This time again, we just line up our decimals, and that's what gets lined up. So again, we start here on that far left-hand side. Which is greater, 5, 3, or 3? Well, clearly, the 5 is greater than 3. So this is going to be our number 1. That's our biggest number. So, but the 3 and 3, these cross themselves out. Okay, they're of equal value. There's our decimal. Now, which is bigger, 4 or 5? Well, yeah, obviously the 5 is bigger. And then finally, this comes in third place. So, if I ask you to list these now from least to greatest or greatest to least, you now know how to do that. So, if let's say we're going to do it from greatest to least, we're going to list them this way: 5 and 3 thousandths, 3 and 54 hundredths, and then finally 3 and 45 hundredths. Finally, here we have something that I want you to write down, 1, 2, and 3 here, and I want you to go ahead and stack your decimals and bring to class tomorrow telling me which is greater of each of these. Remember, stack your decimals and it all works itself out. See you tomorrow.